Hi, and welcome back to Arno TV. I'm your lovable host Arno, coming back to you with another video. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is something that I've briefly touched on in other videos, and it's something called the Great Reset. Now, for anyone out there that doesn't know what the Great Reset is, it's a phrase that's been put out there by the World Economic Forum. It was actually launched by Prince Charles. And anyone who doesn't know what the World Economic Forum is, in layman's terms, what they are is they're a group of billionaires that meet every year in Davos and lecture millionaires about how the rest of us should be living our lives. Essentially, that's what they do. Okay, so they fly in to Davos each year on their private jets and private helicopters and get chauffeur driven to the most exclusive hotel, in the area where they give these conferences, and this is what goes on each year. So their organisation, the World Economic Forum, is spearheaded by a guy called Klaus Schwab. Now, Klaus Schwab looks and sounds like a Bond villain. I'm not joking. If you go and have a look at some of the stuff that Klaus Schwab says about the Great Reset, it's frightening. We're talking about these people want to reset the whole structures of the world. They want to change everything. It's not fit for purpose in the 21st century, according to them. And another thing that they'll keep parroting within the Great Reset is this idea of a universal basic income. Now, is this furlough pay? Is this to get us used to living on a basic income? Obviously, we've had on the TV Johnson in the last few days and his acolytes around him saying things like that. The 4-week lockdown will definitely be enough. Definitely be enough. We won't be extended beyond that. So if that's the case, why has Rishi Sunak extended the furlough pay until March next year? Because we are going to be locked down for the winter, aren't we? And, basically, if you think about it, there's going to be a lot of people that have been on 80% of their income for a whole 12 months by the time we get to the back end of March next year. So, is this a test, is it, to see if we can all survive on less? Because people like Klaus Schwab over at the World Economic Forum want us to all live on a basic income. Because I guarantee you're going to start hearing politicians and the media class as well in the not too distant future talking a lot more about the Great Reset, and it'll be coupled with phrases like sustainable, inclusivity and things like that. So I'm telling you all, I'm going to include as well on this video a link in the description, because I watched something again on talk radio. It looks like they're one of the few broadcasters out there that actually question things. So there was an interview on there earlier that I was watching that I'll put in the description, and it's with a journalist called James Dillingpole, who knows a lot about the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset. So I suggest you watch it, because he raised a very interesting point in this interview. One of the weapons, probably the biggest weapon that people like Klaus Schwab and his friends over the World Economic Forum have is all of this is done out in the open. They're releasing books and podcasts all about the Great Reset. It's all going out there, it's all in the open, and it all sounds so fantastical and crazy that there's no way that this could be true. Well, it is true, and I suggest that people go over to the World Economic Forum and start looking into what the Great Reset is, because it's very easy not to be interested in things like this. But if you wake up one day and you're in a technological, technocratic police state, then don't say that you weren't warned, because seriously, the kind of things that these people are talking about, if it wasn't real, it'd be funny in a frightening way, but it is real. So I suggest that people go and educate themselves, because as I've said from the beginning on my platform and on my channel, all I've really ever asked people to do is question things, and don't just acquiesce, without question. Because if we look at some of the things that have gone on in the since this lockdown started, and since the pandemic started over here in March. I mean, I've said this before. If I told you 12 months ago that, nurses had been being arrested for taking home their 97-year-old mum to look after her, and they were being arrested for that, and students were being locked up, you wouldn't believe me, would you? But this is where we're at, people. And this has all been brought in under the guise of all these new lockdown rules, as I've said before. We are heading into a very, very dark place, people, if we don't start questioning things a lot more. And also, I've said this, and I hope some of these people are watching. It's about time some of these politicians that have basically put all these draconian measures all over us started answering some serious questions and gave some serious justification to why this is necessary. Because we've seen time after time the stats and figures that they've given us been proved to be wrong, and they're allowed to get away with it, and they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it, because at the moment, well, I mean, this has become a joke, isn't it? We're supposed to live in a democracy, but the idea of freedom is something that's vastly disappearing in this year, in 2020. So, please, people, go over and start looking into this some of this stuff, because when you do, if it doesn't worry you, then there's something seriously wrong. Because I don't want to live in a world where the billionaires out there are deciding what I do in my life on a day-to-day basis. I don't want to live in a world like that. So, if you've enjoyed this video, guys, and you want to see more, as I've said before, I'm going to be back on a hell of a lot more now we're in lockdown 2.0, should I say, because I've got a lot more time on my hands now, thanks to being basically told to stay at home. So, but I'll be back soon, guaranteed of that, guys, with more videos for you. So please like the channel, and please subscribe to the channel and share it with people. So, because as I've said before, I'm trying to grow this channel. But until I'm back, you take care of yourselves, stay rock and roll, and I will be back soon, no doubt about that, with some more videos for you.